Memory, 16 years old. There's this gorgeous 24-year-old woman in our neighborhood, and I stare at her all the time. One day she invites me into her car. She asks me if I like to kiss boys, and I tell her I do not like that. Then she says she wants to show me something, and she leans over and kisses me so softly on the lips with her lips, then puts her tongue in my mouth. Wow. She asks my mama if I can spend the night, and my mother's delighted that such a beautiful, successful woman has taken an interest in me. Her apartment's fantastic. I decide right there I want to be a secretary like her when I grow up. She makes a vodka for herself and then asks me what I want to drink. I say the same as she's drinking, and she says she doesn't think my mama would like me drinking vodka. I say she probably wouldn't like me kissing girls either, and the pretty lady makes me a drink. The alcohol's gone to my head, and I'm loose and ready. Then she does everything to me and my coochie snorcher that I always thought was nasty before, and wow. In the morning, I am worried that I have become a butch, 'cause I'm so in love with her. She laughs, but I never see her again.
I went in, Philip, into one of those places I just told you about. I didn't care. I needed to go. I needed to feel what it was like. And so I went. There were these men. There was this one man, and I didn't know him. He didn't know me. We didn't really talk, just a word. We barely even looked at each other, and then it was as if I wasn't quite there. It was all over in a couple of minutes, but it was as if I wasn't really myself. And I thought that some of those men hovering and waiting in that dim, flickering light, that some of those men would also choose this, that maybe that's what many of them want, but because they don't know how to find it, and because they've been told that this is who they are, that they're these men that stand there waiting to touch someone, to touch another man's skin, that they believe that's all they are, and that what they want, what they really want, is more than that. That what they want more than anything is to see them, to look at them, to look into their eyes, and to know them, and be known.
Saw Josephine Woodcock the other day, went to school with her. She put a soiled sanitary towel in my sleeping bag. I hadn't seen her in years, and I was in the pub having a quick ploughman's lunch, and she tapped me on the shoulder. When I turned around and saw her, I almost vomited, but I managed to keep it in my mouth. I've always fantasised about when I'd bump into someone from school years after. I'd be mid-gorf in an art house cinema, drinking a glass of Malbec, or doing something incredibly cool like ice skating really well. You know, like doing twirls and stuff, and they'd be like, "You're amazing, Ramona. Look at you go, you're like Torval, only way more attractive. Oh, and your personality is just to die for now." But the reality was, my face was sweating, because I'd just eaten a really spicy bowl of Wagamama's, and my dentist had diagnosed me with gingivitis that day, so I was extremely paranoid about my breath, the build-up of plaque on my receding gums, and my shiny face, that I literally couldn't speak. I couldn't speak for like 10 seconds, and she's just staring at me. So then I said, "Wow, cool top. Where do you get it from?" And she said, "Urban Outfitters." So then I was like, "Wicked!" And then I couldn't think of anything else to say, so then I said, "Wicked!" again, and then I bolted. And then I was sick in the street.
A very good friend of mine, Eva Johansson, always used to say you can't get through life without a highly developed sense of the absurd. She could well be here now to recognise the absurdity of my situation. But one night she went to bed, drunk, with a lit cigarette in her hand. In her case, she was taken seriously. How inconsiderate, Eva. Soon there'll be no one left to drink with at all. The rows we used to have, always in pubs. And if Norman or some other anxious landlord tried to intervene, she'd say, with that winning smile of hers, "Oh, it's quite all right. This is a good friend of mine, and I'm just trying to explain to him what a stupid bastard he is." Our longest standing row goes back to when I was living in the country, and I asked her what she wanted for breakfast. "A slice of cold, rare roast beef and a glass of tea pepe, preferably chilled." "Why can't you have a fucking egg like anyone else, you flash cow?" "Because I'm not anyone else." And she wasn't.
Perpetual imprisonment? Am I then not to be set free? Give me that writing. Light your fires. Do you think I dread it as much as the life of a rat in a hole? My voices were right, yeah. They told me that you were fools, and that I was not to listen to your kind words nor trust your charity. It is not the bread and water I fear. I can live on bread. When have I ever asked for more? It is no hardship to drink water if that water be clean. Bread has no sorrow for me, and water no affliction. But to shut me from the light of the sky and the sight of the fields and the flowers, to chain my feet so that I can never again ride with the soldiers nor climb the hills, to make me breathe foul damp darkness and keep me away from everything that brings me back to the love of God, when your wickedness and foolishness tempts me to hate him. All this is worse than the furnace in the Bible that was heated 7 times. I could do without my warhorse. I could drag about in a skirt. I could let the banners and the knights and the trumpets and the soldiers leave me and pass me by as they leave the other women. If only I could still hear the wind in the trees, the larks in the sunshine, and the young lambs crying through that healthy frost, and my blessed church bell sending my angel voices floating to me on the wind. But without these things, I cannot live. And by you wanting to take that away from me, from any human creature, I know that your counsel is of the devil, and mine is of God. His ways are not your ways. He wills I go through the fire to his bosom, for I am his child, and you are not fit that I shall live amongst you. That is my last word to you.
You're so good to me, all of you coming here. I am a man alone, and you have shown me that you care about me. Look at you. You care about my words, my thoughts, and, to my surprise, dear comrades, I find that I am not afraid. My fear has gone. Yes, I'm going to die. And for the first time in my life, I'm completely unafraid. I feel a power growing in me like a blaze in my head. There are 200 million of us in this Union of Soviets, a huge mass of masses, and I'm the only one not cowering in fear. I'm going to die. Hold me down before I start to fly. To think I finally have power. I can do anything. Anything. Oh, I'm a colossus. I am Caesar. You will see me everywhere, and I'm doing this for us, all of us. This is me. Semyon. Truly me. Shit your pants, you cowering in the Kremlin. I am the arrow of disillusionment. The meaning of me will terrify you. I matter. I matter.
I like big men. Big, quiet, strong men. That's all I want. I love to tend to them. I like to have grace and flurry around them. I like their temple arms and pillar legs and synagogue chests and big mouth and teeth and tongue like an elephant's ear. Carved faces like a Natreo cliffside and the Roman Empire bonework, and you can really dig deep into them. So big. Big hands. Big everything. Carved men. It's a thrill if you see them run, say for a bus, pounding up the pavement. Good big man, thick blood through tubular veins, squirting and washing him out. It must be like a big red cavernous car wash in there, in him, and all his bits and organs hanging from the rib roof. Bloody Oxman, Hercules, Thor, Chuck Connors. Let me groom and coddle you. Let me gather all ye men of our isles and lead you across America, you myth men, myth men, myth men, big men. Love ya.
Here's some things you can't do with string. Tie someone up so they can't leave you. He promised to take me with him. We had a deal. My father says, if you make a deal, keep to it, especially with men, and even more especially with gods. Otherwise you'll end up like your mother and I, with a bull for an heir. My father often exaggerates for dramatic effect. My brother is only half bull. Theseus said, the string idea is brilliant, Ariadne, but I need a knife as well. I said, what for? He said, protection, just in the unlikely event I run into anybody or anything. Theseus is a classic hero. He has to run into things. That's his appointed fate. I pretended not to, but I knew that, and I know my brother knew my brother. I knew how it must end. One of them had to die. I wanted it to be my brother, the Minotaur, who was half man, half bull, utterly, disgustingly, hopelessly ugly. But how could you not love a brother who was this silly, snorting, stamping, goofy parody? Sorry, lost my thread a bit there. Here's what you cannot do with string. Moor a ship so it can't leave without you. Tie someone forever in your bed. Make a new brother. You need boy bits and a lot of beef and spittle and he needs to be breathing.
I came home and she was lying on the bed and she'd taken... I'd been test driving this Audi. It was silver. It had ABS braking, climate control, satellite navigation and roll bar as standard. It had these little push-out trays for your drinks and things. It was a lovely car. I loved it. It really held the road well. But the thing was, the bloke who's doing the test drive, you can just tell he's thinking, you fucking Waste of my time. But the thing was, I could afford the car, but... Felt so good, that car. Felt like I'd earned that car after everything I'd been through, everything I'd done. Felt like that car was my right. But we had debts. Big debts. My wife had debts. You see, he could see I couldn't afford the car. Do you understand? It was visible on me. He could see it on me. And so when I came home and I saw her lying there, I thought, I'll be able to afford the car now.
Last week, I caught a mouse in my flat. I have mice, which is something I'd really like that. So, I have mice, and I caught this one on glue paper. The glue traps. I tried everything else, and they're the only thing that works. And the worst thing is that when you catch them, they're still alive, so you have to, dispatch them. So I put a cloth over it and I hit it on the head with a cup, a mug, and it took quite a few, hits. And then I peeled it off the paper, and the body is quite delicate, so you have to be careful. And I took a scalpel that I have for handicrafts and I slit its little belly open, and I tucked out all its insides, and I put them and the body onto this Christmas card so that it was splayed open into this Christmas card design, and I sent it off to my boss with writing cut out from a newspaper saying, "Thank you for your hard work and good luck in the new job. Cunt face." They called the police.
Here.
Here.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, it is. What?
You didn't make a noise when you sat down.
Full up to my earlobes with painkillers, love.
Right.
I'm not getting any better.
No, I know.
Should have died last Thursday if it was 6 months.
But you didn't.
Bit busy that day. Postponed it.
Should have brought some sandwiches.
Oh, sorry, I didn't think.
No, I didn't mean you, I meant I should have. It's not your job anymore, is it? I didn't mean it like that.
Should have bought some champagne. Celebrate finding this place. It's gorgeous. Yeah. I could be really happy here. Could really be beautiful. What?
Nothing. Are you warm enough?
Toasty. It's a lovely day. Quite glad I didn't die in winter now. Less chance of the funeral getting rained on.
Mum, I don't know how open you think we're going to be. I know you want this fully functioning talking thing, but we never had it with you here, and I don't think we're going to have it without you.
I know it's not going to be easy, the three of you. I know that, but God, if you turn into the Waltons the second I'm gone, I'll be really cross. What time is it?
12.
Tablet time. I've left them in the car.
Oh, I'll get them, that way we don't have to leave yet.
Could you get the water bottle?
Sure.
Is it something specific you're smiling about?
Not smiling.
It's okay to smile.
Okay. New man.
Who is he?
He's not a wanker.
Good Lord.
He's just so amazing.
How's the sex?
He's just... I've got this pulse in the bottom of my lip all the time, and... Oh, you need your tablets. I'll be quick. Don't go anywhere. Make pretty slow progress if I did.
I mean it, try not to die. I haven't finished telling you yet.
She knows.
She knows.
Yes.
How does she know?
I told her.
Everything.
Facts.
My age.
Yeah.
Your sentence.
Yeah.
When at the start.
Yes. We've been together 7 years.
What did you tell her? Tell me what you told her.
But when I was younger, I had an illegal relationship. I had sex with a minor.
She's fine with that.
No. Of course not.
I told her what my life was like then. I wasn't in a good way. I gave in. I broke apart.
Did you?
I made the biggest, most stupid mistake of my life.
You told her it was
A what?
3 month stupid mistake. That you ran away with me, that too.
And that I pulled myself up. I got back on track.
She believed you.
Because she loves me.
What's wrong with her? Must be something.
Don't say that. Don't talk about her. She has helped me.
Do you have children with her?
No,
Do you want children?
it's not funny.
Do you see me laughing? No, I think it is. You've forgotten me.
Yes. Yes, I have.
10 years later, 8 years now, you'd be on the register. Your name would be there, Ray would be there. You wouldn't be able to forget.
I'm living my life. A new life that I fought for because
Did you ever think about me?
I have every right. I can push it as far away as
What was happening to me?
You think I should relive it every day? This is my life. You can't come in. And
When
you
that
can't
judge-
come in.
6 years I'm with my parents.
I am entitled to something. To live.
I did the sentence. I did your sentence. For 15 years, I lost everything. I lost more than you ever did. Think about it every day.
Whatever it is you want me to. Whatever it is you. I've taken you seriously. But if you tell me. You can't think about it every day.
I don't have to think it's there.
Is that wise? Do you not have people or friends who.
Of course I have friends.
know you do this?
Yes.
And they listen, they still.
Yes.
What kind of friends are they? What kind of.
Don't talk about it.
They allow this. They're waiting to hear how this went. Are they outside?
There's no one here with me. How many times do I
a
have
partner?
to... That's nothing to do with...
Does anyone care about you at all?
Looking at it objectively, the agent's designed to reduce the emotional dampening we normally see with antidepressants. It makes sense emotions will be heightened. And with normal
minds.
You know what I mean. Depression's deadness of emotion, right? It's insularity, lack of engagement with the world and those around you.
Is it?
So the other end of the spectrum, where the agent could be taking them, is extreme emotion. Excess engagement, overwhelming purpose and sense of feeling. What does that sound like?
Bollocks.
What does it sound like?
I'm pretty sure it's not drug effect, Toby. But we're not really talking about attraction, are we?
Aren't we?
I don't think so. It seems to me you're trying to stress the chemical nature of things for my benefit.
No. Well, okay, yes. Equally, if you have a chemical imbalance that causes you to sleep all the time, feel lethargic, have trouble focusing, of course you're going to eventually feel depressed.
Oh, for God's sake, Toby. You ask someone about their history of depression, they don't say, I felt tired one day. They say, I lost my job, I lost my wife. There are external events
Everybody
they
loses their
respond
job. Everybody
to.
loses their wife.
No, they don't, Toby. It's about an interaction with the world. I know this depression is disease thing is good for business, but you really can't...
Don't say that in front of me.
Don't say that in front of me. I was a clinical psychiatrist at Bart's for 5 years while you were greasing your way up the ladder, so don't...
Grease a ladder.
You know what I mean.
You weren't there a lot of those 5 years.
You don't know that at all. Are you interested in why I don't think it's drug effect, Toby?
Of course. What do you think I'm interested in?
I think you're interested in whatever's most interesting.
I'm just alive to possibility. Come on. What makes you so sure it isn't our drug?
Thank you, Doctor. I'm glad you asked. Because number 7 here is on a placebo.
Ah.
Yes. Ah.
Go on. How did you fuck it up?
As I told you, I've never been unfaithful, never needed it. And then, one day, there she was. Just looking at me with those eyes of hers.
Well, did you talk to her?
Did I what?
Did you talk to her?
Yes, I did. I went over to her, to where she was, and I spoke to her. And she came toward me, and I touched her face, and I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Let me help you. You're seeing her.
Yes, oh yes, I'm seeing her.
You're screwing her?
Yes, I'm screwing her. Oh, Jesus.
And you're in love?
That's it, you see.
What do I see?
I am seeing her. I am screwing her, as you put it, all of which is beyond even...
And you're in love with her?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm in love with her. Jesus. Sylvia.
I almost dare not ask this, but who is Sylvia?
I can't tell you.
Who is Sylvia?
Please don't laugh.
This is Sylvia?
Yes.
Who you're fucking?
Don't say that. Whom?
With whom you're having an affair?
Yes.
How long now?
6 months.
Jesus.
But Ross, you don't understand.
This is a goat. You're having an affair with a goat? You're fucking a goat.
Yes.
Who can tell me who I am?
Is there an answer?
Nobody can tell me.
Then why are you asking? Why are you here?
You in oilskins? People used to say you were the cleverest woman in England. I can rehabilitate you. You're intellectually unfashionable. I'm black. We could write the book together. Who can tell us who we are? England is a conflict. We could articulate the opposing views.
I read your first book.
Thank you. Yeah.
Haven't said anything nice about it yet.
When I sent the first draft to my publisher, she said, Rose, I'm not going to publish unless you can tell me what it's about in 4 words. And I said,
Whose idea was England?
who created the things that made England, England? Sailcloth, the canvas to her ships.
The technology of the cotton manufacturers who came with their... What did the locals call the Flemish workers?
The blue nails. Unforgettable detail.
I was spat on. That's an unforgettable detail.
I wasn't involved in that.
You got me sacked.
You justified racism.
You let the students make speeches. Colleagues turned their backs on me. The broadsheets tore me to pieces. I was cast out. Put the girls in the car, roof piled with stuff. Left Oxford like refugees. Headed for the wilds of Scotland.
A book by Rose Cruikshank and Sophia Nicole. It'll attract attention. We can begin with Enoch Powell. Do you still have sympathies for him?
I suggested he had a portion of the truth.
You defended the speech.
I said it has never been answered.
To describe black children, he used the phrase wide, grinning pickaninnies. Should people who use racist language even be included in the conversation?
Black rioters burn down Asian shops. Are they racist? Nigerian English boys call Jamaican English boys slaves. Are they racist? And immigrants are often racist. They have to be to hold their communities together. They say, we're not like them, we don't eat like them, we don't think like them, we're a little different, a little better. And that's what having an identity is. We're all racist. We all belong to groups that find other groups offensive.
You said all racism was equal.
Yes.
Not when the police can kick your head in for being black. Not when whites have all the power.
Who in this conversation has all the power?
I'm offering to share it.
I'm wondering why.